I'm Calvin. I was circumcised as a child, and it's botched, and I've had suicide attempts because of it. I died March 2015 in hospital because of the suicide and the trauma that went through it. I've been rejected by multiple urologists because they can't do anything about it, and it's something that could have been completely avoided. I could have had a whole different lifestyle, and I wouldn't have had borderline personality if I was just left alone. I could have chosen to as an adult. I had swallowed sodium hydroxide, which is a highly corrosive chemical, and it had eroded all my esophagus, and I was brought to the hospital, medically cleared that day, but came back 13 days later after, and I was bringing up blood all over the x-ray machine. I flatlined in hospital, and they resuscitated me and put me into the ICU for 10 days. I had 4 blood transfusions, and I had less than, I think it was like 5% chance of survival. And this is all brought on because of the depression and body shaming I have to myself because of circumcision. The issues I have with my circumcision, the botched circumcision, right now isn't as much aesthetically problematic. I've been wearing various foreskin repair devices like the TLC tugger and the foreskin restorer, dual tension tugger, and it used to, when it was erect, it would tear on its own. I could have a nighttime erection and it would tear on its own and bleed, and I'd wake up thinking I had a wet dream, but it was actually covered in blood. But also it has very little to no sensitivity, and I can take over 2 hours plus to orgasm. It is very uncomfortable for me, very painful, even though it's a bit better now because of the TLC tugger. And it's just a whole thing. I can't even look in the mirror of myself naked without breaking down, because I had my rights and freedoms taken away from my parents, who should be somebody I trust, within the first 3 weeks of my life, and strapped to a plastic board and mutilated without any choice of that matter.